waiting by the frozen lake, fading light, resting on gray water, cold hands buried deep in my pockets. I stayed too long where we were warm. If I had spoken when the sky was burning, would you have stayed till the night rain ended? I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. Empty doorways kept your shadow for me, photographs shaking in my trembling breath. I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. Quiet room where your coffee used to linger. Your empty chair feels wider than the world. Unreturned calls echo off the kitchen walls. I waited, you didn't come back home. If I had spoken before the silence settled, maybe I would have held you longer. I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. Our old songs haunt these thin night ceilings, photographs shaking in my trembling breath. I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. Last night the mirror finally told the truth. Hollow eyes staring through a stranger's face, letters folded closed like unopened goodbyes, ink fading slower than your distant footsteps. I chased your ghost through every quiet doorway. My fault, I kept the ending from ending. The lake is glass now, holding the dimming sky. One pebble breaks the stillness, shatters my reflection. Under all that frozen weight, something still moves. I feel the crack run straight through my holding on. I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. Cold hands clutching pages you will never read. Night rain softens all the edges of your name. I waited, you didn't come back this time. If I let you go, maybe I start breathing. I stayed too long in a memory that stopped breathing. I walk away slowly, leaving our breath in the past. Chip wooden bench at the edge of evening, fading light scattered across restless water below. Cold hands tracing every crack in this wood. Your empty space beside me feels louder tonight. I waited here while the summers turned silent. Every splinter in this bench remembers us. Night rain falls where your laughter used bled into nights in muted repetition. Unreturned calls humming like distant warning bells. Your chair stayed empty while I rehearsed excuses. I called it patience, though it tasted like fear. I held the frayed edges till they could open. If I had spoken, maybe you'd have left softer. Night rain falls where our futures once were written. Photographs shaking as your distance comes into focus. I stayed too long, loving the shadow when the light was gone. Quiet rooms in my chest still call your name. You came back once with eyes already leaving. Your trembling breath carried a practice goodbye. No anger, just the mercy of a closed door. You said our love had turned into a ghost. I watched you fade into the salt gray distance. Now the pier is colder than any winter I remember. My fault hangs heavy in the air like fog. I see how I cage myself in denial, holding dead seasons while your heart learned to leave. Night rain falls on the bench where we promised forever. Empty doorways wait at home with their quiet accusations. I stayed too long, loving the shadow when the light was gone. If I had spoken, I might have held you longer, but I mistook my fear for some holy devotion. Now fading light is the only thing that answers. I walk away slowly, carrying what's left in silence. Creaking porch swing, bruised sky over fading water. Salty wind pulling at this tired shirt. Waves keep breathing like a distant borrowed heartbeat. I came back here searching for what I lost. Quiet shorelines keep every promise we broke. Every step in the sand feels borrowed. I held on until holding on was everything. Cold hands around a memory that never answers. Night rain waiting outside these quiet rooms. I held on until holding on was everything. You were laughing here, toes buried in silver sand. Eyes full of roads we never traveled. A photograph shaking in my restless hands. I replay words I never dared to speak. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? Or only left sooner, less afraid? I held on until holding on was everything. Empty doorways echo with your unfinished sentences. Unreturned calls ring inside my trembling breath. I held on until holding on was everything. This house wears your absence like a second skin. Floorboards ache with every ghost of your footsteps. I wasn't holding you, only your outline. Your shadow slipped through every desperate grasp. My fault was loving the echo, not the silence. Now the fading light crawls slow across these walls. I taste the sea bitter on my tongue. Some things drown softly no matter how tight you cling. I stayed too long because the void felt colder. I held on until holding on was everything. Until the weight of it was all I had left. I waited here, you didn't come back to me. My fault, I believe love could outswim distance. If I had spoken, I'd have held you longer. Now quiet rooms finish every sentence with goodbye. I rise barefoot into night rain, finally letting you go. Night rain blurs the harbor lights to ghosts. Fading light on water, nothing moving inside me. Empty doorways on the pier watch me waiting. Cold hands on the wheel, photographs shaking slightly. I told myself staying meant someday you'd turn around. But silence grew roots where your voice used to be. I stayed too long at the edge of us, holding on to a future that never began. Your unreturned calls echoed through my quiet rooms. I stayed too long at the edge of us. Your smile in these pictures feels like someone else. Every winter I return, repeating the same mistake. Unreturned calls piling up like night snow. I waited, you didn't come back this time. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? Or was I loving only your fading shadow? I stayed too long at the edge of us, calling your name through this trembling breath. Your letter whispered you'd already left my sky. I stayed too long at the edge of us. The truth is colder than this sea wind. I wasn't holding love, only your outline. Every excuse was a rope around my chest. Too late to ask you to turn around. I would have held you longer, you were already gone. Oh, The engine hums distant, like a life I never entered. Your goodbye curls on the floor, a drowned feather. I see how my stubborn hope kept me sinking. My fault was worshipping echoes instead of your leaving. I stayed too long at the edge of us, clinging to sinking sand, where your footsteps vanish. Now the fading light shows only my reflection here. The quiet rooms inside me are finally unlocking. Some goodbyes aren't endings, they're where healing begins. I stayed too long at the edge of us. Walk from the pier, letting the night rain close behind. Fading light on this tired old porch swing. Quiet house behind me, walls breathing dust. Photographs shaking inside my cold hands. Our laughter lingers, but the rooms feel hollow. I waited here while the colors turned gray. Stayed too long inside what was dying. I held on to a dying flame, hoping for light in the dark. You didn't come back, I still kept watch. I held on to a dying flame. Night rain stains the steps where we whispered. Empty doorways stare back like unreturned calls. I search each shadow for something I missed. Every silence answers, this was my fault. If I had spoken when your eyes went distant, maybe I'd have held you here longer. I held on to a dying flame, hoping for light in the dark. You didn't come back, I blamed the weather. I held on to a dying flame. Under one street lamp, your farewell shook my hands, trembling breath catching on each written word. you were already gone, living past my reach, too late to rewrite the lines I broke. The night took my tears, left a thinner silence. On the same porch swing, the ghost sits softer beside me. I see how I clung to ash, calling it shelter. I kept us buried, afraid of the open door. Forgiving myself hurts more than losing you. I held on to a dying flame, hoping for light, finding only the cold. Your shadow kept me kneeling on cracked concrete. I waited, you didn't come back, still I stayed. If I had spoken, if I had let you wander, I held on to a dying flame. Ooh. Now I rise from the swing and leave the echo. Above the tired docks, fading light bruised the sky with purple. Cold hands buried deep inside my jacket. Quiet waves answered questions I never asked. I waited there, you didn't come back. Silence settled heavier than the falling dark. I love the shadow I made of you. Too late to see you were never there. Photographs shaking inside my trembling breath. I love the shadow I made of you. I kept believing patience could wake your heartbeat. Unreturned calls stacked up like empty doorways. Your last promises hung loose in the air. Your eyes had left before your body followed. I held our ghost because I feared the silence. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? I love the shadow I made of you. Too late to see you were never there. Night rain on planks where our footsteps faded. I love the shadow I made of you. A single leaf spun down beside my shoes, brittle fading, carried where it never chose. My love was that leaf without direction. I stayed too long, calling it devotion. The grave I dug was only my stubbornness. My fault was worshipping what had already died. The bench exhaled softly when I finally stood up. Empty dark lights flickered over the restless water. Each step away from us felt heavier yet clearer. I wasn't giving up, I was stopping the light. I love the shadow I made of you. I kept you alive in my frightened mind. Too late to see you were never there. I stayed too long in our quiet ruins. If I had spoken, I'd have heard us sooner. I would have held you longer than let you go. The sea keeps our silence and I keep mine. Bench, fading light on the water, cold hands wrapped around a careless bottle. Your laughter hangs in the salt thick air. Empty doorways echo in these quiet ways. I waited here long after you vanished, tethered to a ghost only I could feel. I was the only one holding the silence. Night rain remembers what I try to forget. Photographs shaking in my unsteady hands. I was the only one holding the silence. Lamps once turned your eyes into constellations. Your fingers fit between mine like a promise. I swore I'd hold on through every storm. Never saw the cracks until the walls crumbled. Unreturned calls stacked up like winter snow. I kept knocking on a door you'd abandoned. I was the only one holding the silence. My fault, I mistook your absence for weather. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? I was the only one holding the silence. The quiet presses hard on my chest. Our love a burning building, I kept breathing. I finally see you're gone in every way. Holding on longer only fed the flames. I pour this last swallow into the dark. Let the tide take what I couldn't release. I don't reach for my phone, no trembling message. Just the slow unraveling rhythm of these waves. The past loosens its chain linked by a rusted link. I sit with the hollow space and call it mine. I was the only one holding the silence. Too late I learned you left the room forever. Cold hands open, nothing left here to rescue. Fading light spills over everything we ruined. I would've held you long now I let go. I was the only one holding the silence. I walk away and the silence stays behind. Morning mist curls around this worn wooden bench. Waves whisper secrets I never learned to hear. Horizon blurs where the water meets the sky. Your name lingers there like unfinished prayer. I told myself you might still turn around, but every tide returned without your shadow. I waited, you didn't come back. Cold hands holding photographs, shaking in night rain. Our quiet rooms learned how to breathe without us. I waited, you didn't come back. Unknown number, 2 words glowing like a wound. Let go hanging there, sharper than goodbye. Trembling breath caught between hope and surrender. I saw my fear pretending it was love. I stayed too long in something already gone, trying to catch smoke with open hands. I waited, you didn't come back. Empty doorways watch me pacing through fading light. Unreturned calls echoed softer every passing night. I waited, you didn't come back. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? If I had listened, would we have broken slower? Some things break so quietly you barely notice, until the silence is louder than your heart. Sun slips through the mist and finds my face. I finally see the ruins I kept rebuilding. Holding on became a quiet kind of betrayal. To you, to me, to what we used to be. I waited, you didn't come back. Night rain washed our names from the fog of glass. My fault was loving the ghost, not the ending. Cold hands finally loosened, letting the darkness pass. Our quiet rooms keep their secrets without answer. I waited, you didn't come back. Somewhere inside the silence, I learned to let go. porch, fading light on peeling rails. It's all day heavy, like words we never said. A photograph shaking inside my tired hands. Quiet rooms remember where our laughter lived. I trace the places your shadow used to fall. Every empty doorway feels like my fault. I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Night rain answered where your voice fell quiet. I kept our ghost alive inside this house. I stayed too long, waiting for your silence.
Unreturned calls ringing through my hollow chest. I waited, you didn't come back to me.
I told myself this ache was just a chapter, but every morning proved I read alone. I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Sunlit rooms exposed the dust of us. I kept our ghost alive inside this house. I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Storm clouds swallowed every color from the sea. Your final message felt colder than the rain. Crossing miles, crossing out our name. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? Or would I just have heard you leave sooner?
Floorboards press my spine like pages closing slow. My stubborn heart tied knots it couldn't untie. Love isn't enough when one heart walks away. I held the rope, you slipped through my hand.
I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Cold hands clinging to a story long finished.
I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Fading light showed every crack I tried hiding.
I would have held you longer, said everything wrong, but I stayed too long, waiting for your silence. Waiting for your silence. The waves move forward, and I whisper, let go. Twilight leaking through the blinds, blue on tired walls, cold coffee in my hands, untouched for hours. Your morning laughter drifts through this quiet room, photographs shaking slightly in my trembling breath. I waited in these empty doorways every night, calling your name inside. You didn't come I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost, talking to echoes where your heartbeat used to live. Every unreturned call stitched another weight inside. I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost. The silence grew heavier than any shouted word. Your eyes turned gentle, then slowly turned away. I begged you to stay without knowing how to change. Night rain traced rivers down the unwashed glass. If I had spoken sooner, would we still fade? Or were we already gone, just pretending warm? I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost, promising futures to a love that wasn't breathing. We were just shadows, sharing the same space. I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost. You said we were ghosts, I finally heard you. The room felt larger, my chest pulled hollow. My fault was clinging to what we had been, not seeing your cold hands already letting go. I thought I was saving us by never leaving. I was only drowning us in fading light. Now this quiet room feels like a museum of mistakes. Every crack in the paint remembers what I refused. I wasted years fighting reflections instead of my fear. I loved our memory more than I ever loved true. I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost, chasing your outline through these quiet, airless rooms. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer, but I still would have lost you in the end. Now I walk away with trembling breath, finally alone. I stayed too long, holding on to a ghost. I leave the door unlocked, but I don't wait anymore. Cracked wooden bench, fading light over restless water. Tall and old nets, ghosts in the evening air. I trace our names in the splintered grain. laughter's gone, but the silence still remembers. I waited, you didn't come back tonight. Every quiet second says what you never did. My phone stays dark in this fading light. Every unreturned call carves deeper lines inside. I whisper your name to the empty sky. Holding on was the last lie I told myself. Night rain starts soft on the harbor rail. Photographs shaking inside my trembling breath. Promises once whispered beneath this same sky, now just cracked echoes in a quiet room. I waited, you didn't come back again. Even the waves sound tired of my name. My phone stays dark in this colder light. Every unreturned call carves deeper lines inside. I count our plans like broken pieces of glass. Holding on was the last lie I told myself. Cold hands in my pockets, I finally feel the wind. Empty doorways watch me, they know how endings sound. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? Or were you already gone, just sitting beside me? I would have held you longer, instead I held my pride. A heavier silence settles where your voice used to live. The life I pictured drifts out past the harbor lights. I see myself just a shadow on this bench, realizing staying here hurts more than losing you. My phone stays dark, but the truth is clear now. Every unreturned call was you closing the door. I waited so long in these quiet rooms of water, tracing our names while the wood slowly splintered away. I'm walking home alone, leaving your ghost with the tide. Holding on was the last lie I told myself. I glanced back once and let the night erase us. Summer air, heavy on the window glass. Quiet room breathing, dust in the fading light. Warm books leaning like tired friend beside me. Photographs shaking softly in the television glow. Your name lights my phone, I still don't move. Hear all your promises, blurred like distant sirens. I stayed too long, loving a ghost. Cold hands reaching for shadows, never your skin. I waited, you didn't come back to me. I stayed too long, loving a ghost. Our Laughter once tangled with apologies and night rain. White sheets remembered every fight we never finished. You whispered sorry, cracked like fragile glass. The harder I clung, the more you disappeared. The space between us widened, swallowing every shining part. If I had spoken sooner, would you have stayed? I stayed too long, loving a ghost, empty doorways answering every unreturned call. My fault hangs heavy in this quiet room. I stayed too long, loving a ghost. On the balcony, city lights flicker like distant stars. Night fog curls around me, hiding what we were. I finally see it, you were already leaving. I was holding a shadow, not your heart. Sometimes love isn't enough when you stop breathing it. Your last walk beside me replays, our hands barely touching. Silence grew louder than every tender word we traded. I dropped my phone, watched our last message fracture. In broken glass I saw the man I'd lost. I stayed too long, loving a ghost. Cold hands clutching memories that never loved me back. I would have held you longer, lost myself completely. I waited, you didn't come back. I stayed anyway. Now letting go feels quieter than staying ever did. I stayed too long, loving a ghost. In this small room, I breathe without you at last. Weathered pier, fading light on the restless sea. Cold hands on splintered wood, trembling breath in twilight. Empty doorways in my mind, our photographs aching. Night rain far off, the city humming somewhere. I waited here each evening, stubborn against the dark, hoping something broken remember how to breathe. I stayed too long and lost myself in quiet rooms where your shadow vanished, and every unreturned call echoing back my name. I stayed too long and lost myself. else's life. Our shared dreams drift like smoke above this water. I kept pretending the last ember still had warmth. Your distant eyes told truths I refused to hear. If I had spoken when the light was leaving, maybe I would have held you longer. I stayed too long and lost myself. In the silence is stretching wider than this sea. Fading light where your footsteps never return. I stayed too long and lost myself. I was a ghost haunting a finished chapter alone, clinging to pages long after the ink ran dry. My fault was loving the story more than you. My fault was calling it hope when it was fear. The night just watched while I rewrote the ending, and every draft cut me a little deeper. Now the truth sits heavy, colder than this night air. The love I guarded wasn't fading, it was gone. No plea, no apology can pull it from the deep. I'm mourning the man who refused to see it sinking. I stayed too long and lost myself in that vast silence where your voice stopped preaching. In empty doorways I still wait though you've passed through. In unreturned calls that ring like distant warning bells. I stayed too long and lost myself. Letting go means leaving who I was with you. I walk away at dawn, lighter without my goal. Slowly in the fading light, shadows dancing with the memories I protect. Every corner whispers how we used to be. I waited here, you didn't come back. I stayed too long where nothing could grow. That's the only truth my trembling breath knows. Photographs shaking in my unsteady hands. I stayed too long where nothing could grow. Your favorite coffee mug cold beneath my fingers. Night rain tracing rivers down the dusty glass. Unreturned calls sleeping heavy in my phone. Our laughter now a distant echo in this quiet. If I had spoken when the light was stronger, maybe I would have held you longer. I stayed too long where nothing could grow, chasing ghosts inside these quiet rooms alone. Empty doorways staring back like open wounds. I stayed too long where nothing could grow. Your scent turned ghost, no comfort in that air. Warmth was only hope, pretending to be real. Silence buried us deeper than any cruel words. My fault lives here, under every broken promise. The needle lifts and the room finally admits its silence. Cold hands by my sides, learning how to let go. Fading light waits patiently beyond the unlocked door. I step through knowing love doesn't live here anymore. I stayed too long where nothing could grow. Now the ash of silence follows where I go. If I had spoken, if I'd begged you to stay, I would have held you longer, lost you anyway. The ache of goodbye is all that I know. I stayed too long where nothing could grow. I'll walk away, carrying only the ache of goodbye. Dusty windows hold the last of fading light. Coffee cooling slow beside my cold hands. Pages full of laughter I can't hear anymore. Outside colors move, inside everything stays still. I waited in that corner for your shadow. Every trembling breath, pretending you were late. I was holding on to a ghost. Streetlights flicker over names I won't say. Photographs shaking, my thumb can't let them go. I was holding on to a ghost. Neon on your cheeks, your eyes were constellations. Now they're distant stars I can't reach. Your unreturned calls echo louder than your voice. Night rain on the glass sounds like you leaving. If I had spoken when the warmth was breaking, maybe your silence wouldn't feel like my fault. I was holding on to a ghost. Your last short message still burns through my pocket. Empty doorways prove you're not turning around. I was holding on to a ghost. Crowded street corner, I finally saw you passing. Your didn't search the faces, didn't slow your steps. My voice disappeared somewhere between heart and mouth. Too late to call your name into the noise. That was the moment the story closed itself. Back in my quiet room, your picture face down on the table. The journal stays shut, I'm afraid to touch the spine. I feel the ache settle heavy but almost honest. Maybe letting go is just staying with this silence. I was holding on to a ghost, breathing into spaces where your laughter used to live. Now every quiet room shows what I couldn't admit. I was holding on to a ghost. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer. Loving you now means finally learning to let go. In the dark, I whisper goodbye